These three sisters helped pioneer Australian cinema in its early years. Paulette, Phyllis, and Isabel McDonagh grew up in a wealthy Sydney family, with their dad being a surgeon to the biggest theatre circuit in the country, meaning their house was constantly full of actors, artists, and playwrights. Not shocking, they were obsessed with film from childhood. Not Australian films, though. The sisters, particularly Paulette, found them embarrassing and cringeworthy and wanted to create more naturalistic stories and performances. I guess that cultural cringe has always existed. So in 1926, while still in their mid 20s, they decided to make their own films. Paulette wrote and directed, Phyllis designed the sets and ran the publicity, while Isabel starred, under the stage name Marie Loren. Their budget was so tiny that they had to film inside their own family home, talked friends into playing extras, and convinced fashion houses and car companies to loan them props in exchange for a credit. Their first film, Those Who Love, a romance about a rich kid falling in love with a dancer, was a hit, though it looked nothing like the bushranger films that dominated the industry at that time. Instead of rugged landscapes, larrikin men, and Federation nostalgia, like Robbery Under the Arms offered, the sisters made modern films set in cities, stylish and glamorous, and heavily influenced by what was coming out of Hollywood and Germany. They became so well known that Fox Films offered to fly them to Hollywood. They ended up turning it down though, with Phyllis saying, "We sat down and talked and decided we'd end up being very small fish in a big pond. At home, we had work and a reputation." Their third film, The Cheaters, was shot as a silent, but by the time it was ready, sound had taken over and they couldn't find a distributor. So they went back and added some sound sequences. That wasn't enough though. They ended up trying again, reshooting close ups and dubbing the rest of the film. But the resulting film was never released, probably because they couldn't master this brand new technology. Undeterred, they went on to create what would be their last film, 2 Minute Silence, Australia's first anti war drama. Financed by Charles Stewart, Isabel's husband, it ended up bankrupting the film company. By 1933, it was all over. Isabel decided to settle down and raise her three kids, while Phyllis went to work for a newspaper in New Zealand. Paulette tried to get one more film off the ground about the flying doctor Johnny Flynn, but couldn't raise the money. Then, just like most of Australia's early film pioneers, they just vanished from popular culture.